Right. So Eden Labs has been fortunate enough, and with good management and financing and their finances, we have been able to grow exponentially in the past 4 years, basically since 2011, when it was my sister Fritz and I, the three of us. In 2012, it was 5 of us, and today it's 19 of us, and we've moved 3 times to larger spaces, and a lot of that has to do with managing your money. We have never taken a loan. We owe no one anything. We have grown in such a way with a lot of thought and purpose behind it, in the meaning that we have not gotten ahead of ourselves, which I would imagine would be very, very easy to want to do in this industry, because it is so rapidly growing and there's so many opportunities and so much money flying around, really. And so I would have to say that we have the success today that we do, and we are obligated really to no one, because we've been very mindful of growing in such a way that makes sense to us. We are all about quality. We're the best in the industry, customer service, all those kinds of things. And so along with that, you try not to, again, get ahead of yourself too much. Now, with the day-to-day running of the company, I'll just sort of back up a little bit and speak more as a controller, which is one who manages the accounting department and manages everything that has to do with how a company runs with its money. So you, as with our company, you create macro budgets and micro budgets. And for a while there, like most startup companies, and even companies who've been going on for a while, you're going to be financing yourself, funding yourself through your sales, obviously. So if you're building a product, if you're selling a product, that sale then provides you to create the next sale. And it's just kind of like that for a while. You don't have a lot of extra profit. You're putting all your money back into your company. And there are certain ways that as a business you can finesse your money. And plan on, even without having a budget, you can have mini budgets, like weekly budgets even, when you're starting out, so that especially too in this industry, because there's no history of it, it's hard to, unless you've been in the business for years, really say, okay, I know exactly what's going to happen based on last year, the year before, the year before. So I know exactly how to project and do my cash flow for the year. It's difficult to do that. So it requires a lot of flexibility, a lot of creativity. It is a daily putting out of fires. My suggestion is to, from an accounting point of view and for legal reasons as well, is to, from the very moment you start, keep excellent accounting records, be organized, be thoughtful. Oftentimes businesses will have this, on a state level, baby audits, just so that they can come in and see what you're doing. And if you have it together, and if you've got everything out there and ready to go, that's pretty much hopefully going to be the end of it. You're not going to have some mind-numbing, massively expensive audit coming at you. So it's very, very, very important to keep your paperwork and your documents and your funding and your money totally transparent. And that will save the day. It truly will save the day. And it will also provide you a less worrisome place in which to work from, because of the industry and some of the unknowns legally, and the 280E that's always going to be an issue. The best thing I think you can do for yourself in a day-to-day atmosphere is to make sure that you stay on top of everything. Don't let just simple things like reconciling your books. keep everything current, and then you have sort of this worry-free mindset in which to operate, because it is going to be crazy, because your business is growing crazy. I mean, we went from 3 of us to 18 in 2 years. And so for my experience, speaking of the day-to-day operations of a rapidly growing company, that's really important, to keep a level head, stay calm, so that you can address all of the things that are going to come at you. And generally too, most of the principals in the company are going to be wearing 5 different hats. You're going to be covering everything. Your job is not going to be one specific thing. It's going to be everything. And anybody here who is interested in the management of a company, as far as being the bookkeeper or the CFO, I would suggest that you use all the resources that are available. There's tons of resources to educate yourself. There's not a lot of us who have the opportunity to get an MBA, and while you're doing this business, it's just not going to happen. But there are many, many resources out there to educate yourself, and if there's something you don't know, there are people out there that do reach out. Communication is vital within a company. You want to, because everybody's dependent on everybody else, and so with the money, for instance, we have very large purchase ordering that comes through my office, and I have set policies in place, and so you set policies and you stick to them. It's very structural. Even though sort of the industry is a little loose, you're still running a business, and you need a business structure, and you need to stick with it. And make sure that everybody in your company understands that when it comes to the accounting and the funding, and how that money is spent, and where it goes and where it comes from, and all of that is very specific. We have deadlines, we have taxes, we have all of those things. So whether you're a small business or you're a larger one, the basic business structure remains kind of the same. You're just dealing with different numbers for the most part. So I don't know what else I can add to that.
That's great. Okay.